he had done too little work, and growling went away. That same evening, the peasants met once more, and Vasili harangued them. "You are not men," he said, "but sparrows. You promised to stand all together, but when the opportunity comes, all fear to act. When he beat Sidor, you should have all joined and put him to death. But after promising to stand together, you are like sparrows who fly into the bushes when the hawk swoops down on one of them." The anger of the peasants gathered force, and at last they determined to put an end to the steward. He told them on Good Friday that they must plough for the landlord on Easter Sunday to prepare the land for oats. This was an unheard-of proposal. On Good Friday, they met behind Vasili's cottage and consulted. "He has forgotten God," they said. "If he commands such sins, we must kill him. We are lost in any case." There was among them a very peaceable peasant named Piotr who did not at all agree to this. "Brothers," he said, "you are proposing a great sin. Nothing is worse than to kill a soul. What about your own souls? The misfortune is his, because it is he who does the evil. As for us, brothers, we must suffer in silence." This counsel annoyed Vasili exceedingly. "You say that it is a sin to kill a man. You repeat the same thing again and again. Now, it is a sin to kill an honest man. But God himself has commanded that we should kill a dog like this one. A mad dog must be slain that men may be safe. It would be a greater wrong not to kill the steward who is our ruin. Even though it should bring us into trouble, we ought to do it for the sake of others. They will be grateful to us. You talk mere nonsense. It would be a greater sin for us all to work on Easter Sunday. Even you would not do that." But the peaceful peasant was ready with his answer. "Certainly I will plough," he said, "when they send us, though I would not plough for myself. God will know where the sin lies. It only matters that we should not be forgetful of him. God has not told us to render evil for evil, but to do exactly the opposite. If you do wrong, it is you who will suffer in the end. If you slay a man, your soul will be stained with blood. You think that you will have killed a bad man, or that you will have destroyed a plague spot. But in point of fact, you will have done a far greater wrong to yourself. If you give way to fate, fate will give way to you." This speech had much effect, and the peasants were divided in opinion, some thinking that the steward should be slain, and others agreeing with Piotr that it would be better not to sin, but rather to bear their sufferings. The peasants were celebrating the great festival of Holy Saturday, when the village elder came round and informed them that the steward had given orders that all the men were to plough the oat fields on the following day. Together with police officials, he went all through the village, shouting to one man on the river and another on the road, saying that every man must plough. The unhappy men mourned, but could only obey, and on the morrow they brought their ploughs and set to work. The first Mass was being celebrated at church, and all the air was full of the Easter festival, but the peasants were ploughing. Late in the morning, the steward arose and rode over to the farm. His family were dressed all in their best garments. Horses were harnessed to the little carriage. They went and heard Mass. On their return, the servants made the tea, and when the steward came in, they began to drink it. After the steward had finished his tea, he lit his pipe and sent for the village elder. "Have you set the men to work at ploughing?" he asked. "I have," was the reply. "And did all of them go?" "Every one of them. I set them to work myself." "That is very good. But I wonder whether they are really working. I want you to go and see, and tell them that I shall come out after dinner to see that each of them has covered sufficient ground, and has done it well too. If I have any fault to find, there will be no festival for them." The village elder had not gone far when the steward called after him. He hesitated, wishing to give some order, but he did not know how to